In this episode, I'm going to be chatting about 2025 and my predictions for this year. I think it's going to be a good one for property, so stay tuned to the episode to find out more about what I expect to see. Welcome to the Property Corner with myself, Rowan Alexander. The property market wheels turn slowly, so don't expect any new radical ideas or introductions. I've mentioned this in my wrap-up of 2024, is that very often these trends are continuous and long-term. So we can maybe try and look at which way they would be headed for 2025, and then also maybe one or two new introductions or things that we've started seeing green shoots of in 2024 that we expect to grow even further in 2025. This episode is sponsored by BusyBuy. BusyBuy is an internet service provider that services households as well as businesses. BusyBuy have been looking after my personal internet as well as our business internet for nearly 15 years. BusyBuy are not just a standard internet service provider. They offer a lot more than that. Whether you're looking for simple internet connectivity, services such as hosting of email accounts through the Google platforms, or complete voice over IP solutions for your business, BusyBuy is that one-stop solution for all your personal and business connectivity requirements. In a world where we are so dependent upon technology and connectivity, downtime is of the utmost importance. And this is where BusyBuy really sets themselves apart. With no call centers and a dedicated account manager and technician to your business, it really sets their business apart. BusyBuy also offers connectivity solutions for big events. So the next time you're out at a big event, have a look for the BusyBuy flags and the BusyBuy cars. They're probably there during the internet for that show. So to learn more about their services, hop over to busybuy.com and go and check out what they have to offer. So thank you to BusyBuy for supporting our channel and being a sponsor of this episode. I think the biggest thing that we've been looking forward to is the interest rate reliefs that came at the end of 2024, and we expect to continue into 2025. So this might not be new, but we need to start thinking about what this will do to the property market and what effect this could potentially have. In 2024, we spoke about a resilience of purchases above the sort of 3 million rand price point and how resilient that market really was. This was surprising to me in 2024, and I think in 2025, we're going to see that mid-market below to 3 million and the lowest segments of the market right down to 500,000 Rand starting to recover. The recent relief in petrol prices as well as inflation that's been coming down and interest rate relief, I think will all make a very big impact in these lower segments of the market. Now, while their purchasing power might increase, we need to be mindful of the fact that a lot of clients in these segments have fallen behind on their credit, whether that be through poor credit management or actually defaulting entirely on their loans. What the remnants of that would be and how long it's going to take to recover and to reinstate those credit records and credit management principles, I think that's probably going to be the test for 2025. That would take a little bit longer, but those clients that have protected their credit profiles during 2023 and 2024, I think the relief offered in 25 will see them bouncing back and creating more activity in the market below 2 million Rand. Another trend that's been going on for a very long time is semigration. Semigration, since I've been in this industry, has been a hot topic. There's been periods of higher and lower volumes of semigration from Gauteng and KZN to Cape Town, but I expect that to slow down in 2025. We've seen slowdowns like this before. When I've mentioned on this channel before, Herman Mashaba was elected in Johannesburg, when Cape Town went through a drought, when the DA had infighting. All of these things made Cape Town a little less attractive to a home buyer or resident. And there was some hope in the northern parts of this country. Now, I think 2025, we'll see a repeat of that sort of cycle, but for different reasons. One, the GNU has proved very inspiring and has installed a lot of confidence in South Africa. And that doesn't matter where you live. There's really been a sentiment that things are changing in the political environment for the better. That will give some optimism to these markets where people were previously looking to get out of. People that were on that sort of tipping point would probably now stay. And the reason or supporting reason for that is also the extreme increases in property prices in Cape Town. Property prices in Cape Town have really, outperformed any other region in South Africa. Over the past 2-3 years, I've found myself in a position where I deal with clients moving from other parts of the country. If they visit me on their first sort of trip, I always ask whether they've been around and looked at other properties before they start chatting to me. Otherwise, unfortunately, I need to be the bearer of bad news to say that the property that they can afford in Cape Town is probably half, if not even smaller, the size of their property that they've left behind in Gauteng. This is quite a hard pill to swallow if you have been moving from being within a secure estate in a 400 square meter house with 4 or 5 bedrooms, coming down to a townhouse in Cape Town. It's very often a reality check as to the pricing difference between Cape Town and Gauteng. Cape Town has seen exponential property growth over the last 3 years, and it's become harder and harder for families to relocate. Looking into 2025 and having some insight into construction costing and land pricing, for which land has sold recently, expect semigration to continue, but not at the same levels that we may have seen from the periods 2022 through to 2024. It's no secret that property prices in South Africa have been on a very slow growth trend over the last number of years. There have been some anomalies, and there have been some markets that have outperformed the sort of averages, and usually those are in your urban areas, your big metros, especially the Western Cape market. It has absolutely boomed over the last 10 years, and even more so after COVID and the lockdown, with a lot of semigration and a lot of attraction in the province. In 2025, we expect to see this price growth in the urban metros, but we also expect to see that some of the other metros, rather than the Cape metros, coming onto the growth lists. The reason for that being, as we said, the slowdown in semigration, but also remember, because they are coming off a lower price base, they are also exposed to the same inflationary costs as the Western Cape in terms of construction costs, but their land values are lagging behind. In 2025, as the demand in those areas may grow, as less people leave them, we may see that their land prices recover during 2025. So in summary, we see a stronger growth in property pricing in 2025 than what happened in 2024. The fourth thing to look out for will be a continuation of rental market corrections. As I've mentioned before, from 2021, the rental market was under serious pressure because there was some big outflows of tenants during the 2022-2023 periods of low interest rates. As interest rates changed and became harder to acquire property, vacancies sort of started drying up. And in 2024, we started seeing the first escalations of high escalations coming through to correct those rental values and bring them in line with modern market values. In 2025, I think we are going to see ruthless rental escalations with big demands for rental properties, with property pricing growing stronger than before, and probably once again outperforming wage growth. It's going to become even harder to purchase property, which would turn a lot of potential buyers to the rental market. This is going to do well for the rental market, though. If you are a landlord, expect that you will receive good rental returns during 2025, and that it will also be your opportunity to recover some of the losses of the 2022-2023 seasons. And then the fifth and final thing to look out for in 2025 is the strong return of the investor. Interest rate relief, along with an increased demand for rental properties, sets the tone for the investor return. In 2024, we saw the very first green shoots of investors returning to the property market, to the residential market especially. And in 2025, we expect to see that coming back quite heavily. With interest rates entering a downward cycle and rentals going upwards, the gap between your costs of ownership and your rental income are now narrowing. Those gaps are narrowing. That becomes attractive to property buyers and investors, especially when capital growth is on the upturn too, as we expect for 2025. So look out for investors returning to the market in a big way in 2025. There's a lot of confidence in the investment market, in the investment space. If you look at what's happening in the world, look what's happening in the US markets, and the confidence that's been installed there. We expect a lot of investor confidence locally too. And we expect to be the beneficiaries thereof in the property segment as well. So look out for that return of the investor. All of these things, as you can hear, all of these gears need to mesh, and they do mesh, and they continue to mesh. But if you look at all five of these things that I've said to look out for, you'll find that they are intertwined. They are not independent silos. They all work together, but they also all work together in a slow-moving way. So we are able to identify them early on and watch them, but we can capitalize on them now if we act quickly. So thank you for supporting the channel and for following. Like and subscribe and share our channel with any of your friends and family to help us grow and to help us produce this content. So thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you've watched our 2024 predictions and wrap up for 2024, you'd know that we were pretty accurate with these predictions. What do you think about our predictions for 2025? Is there anything else that you've considered or you thinking about? Any trends that you've picked up on or things that you think are going to change up the market in 2025? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for supporting our channel.